Hey everybody, welcome to Bay Ray's Comics. I am Bay Ray. I've got a good one for you today. I had an opportunity to sit down with the people from Rising Empire Studios, AJ Light and Ridge Keeley. They have a card gaming system. They have a comic book line, which is now also co-written by the legendary Mark Waid. So I had an opportunity to do a Zoom call and have a really good Q&A with them, and I had a great time. I'm going to show that to you in a minute. But I need you to watch the whole video because I've got some giveaways. I was given stuff from Rising Empire Studios, from Alpha Clash, their gaming system, from their comic line. I've got some giveaways, so stay to the end of the video. And before we even get going, make sure like, comment, and subscribe on my channel. Help my channel grow. And as you can tell, I am wearing Creams and Crimson Hoosiers. Yes, I am now a Hoosier football fan. I moved to Bloomington about a year and a half ago, and that's when they started doing well. I think I am the lucky charm that they didn't even know they had. So, so with that in mind, let's speak to AJ Light and Ridge Keeley from Rising Empire Studios. First and foremost, Circus Olay.
Cirque du Soleil.
You guys still do that stuff?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I exited out, let's see, a few years ago. My wife and I moved back to Iowa, hard to work with the circus remotely. And then, yeah, we jumped all in on Rising Empire Studios, but we started, AJ and I started at Cirque du Soleil, and that's where we met and really just nerded out together and became friends and eventually business partners.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool, cool. And now, Rising Empire, you do a lot of stuff more than just comics. You do like RPGs and stuff like that.
So we've got our board game, we've got our miniatures, we've got our trading card game, our comic books, and our novel, all built around the Alpha Clash IP that we've created.
Hmm.
And so that's just it's there's so many entry points for people to get into the world of Alpha Clash. So if they're not a reader but they like comics, or if they're not into comics and they like games, they can enjoy this. So there's just multiple mediums for people to you know jump in at.
Crossover anywhere you want. It started whether it be with the comic, you could go to the game and then back and forth.
And it's all complimentary and it's all standalone. So if you want to just read the book, like you can, and it's a great experience.
Mhm.
But more intermingle and check out all the products, it's a really great experience.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, we were really conscientious too about how to make the characters and elements in the books and comics gamified, so they correspond, all the powers correspond with your abilities in the game and what you can do and how things proceed out. It works out really nice. It's a
That's cool.
synergistic.
Now let me ask you about Alpha Clash the comic. How did that? How did the ball rolling? Was that your idea, AJ, to do the
I think
comic?
it's a collective idea of all of ours, really. But it started off as we were thinking of a trading card game. It really even going back before that, it started off as we really wanted to be a video game.
Hmm.
But then Ridge is the trading card game expert there, and so we started to make characters, and I started doing some backstories just to round the character out, just for our own purposes and things like that. And then that kind of those short stories kind of got strung into like, well, hey, maybe we could do this as a novel. So I started writing a novel, but then we said, well, maybe it's more marketable to capture some more people in a different medium as in comic books. And so I scripted a graphic novel, which is the first third of our novel,
Hmm.
and that was a while back. And then learned a lot through that and how to script differently and how to make comics more appealing for a lot of people and get the storylines lined up. And then actually, and that's where uh, through a mutual friend we met with Mark Wade, and then he's provided a lot of great insight also to you know write stories and that leave room for the art to and really go back and forward. So it's been really a lot of fun. So yeah, it's been an evolution over the last. I don't know, 3.5 years.
Wow. Now, that's how I found out about you guys is I subscribed to Mark Wade's Facebook page and I all of a
Hmm.
sudden I saw him and he's talking about you guys. Now, I've met Mark several times. Other than the word legend, can you refer to Mark Wade as anything else? He's not just a legend, one of the nicest guys in the comic book industry.
Yeah, okay. Other than legend, I would say genuine.
Yes.
Here's a guy who's very genuine, very like down to earth, and very generous as well with his comments and critiques and insight for things.
Mhm.
So he's been a real pleasure, and he honestly loves comics. I mean, he was at our booth in LA when we were signing stuff,
Mhm.
and just to see him interact with his fans and the wide array of fans from 12-year-olds to 45 or 50-year-olds or
Yeah.
more, all lining up to talk to him, and each one had a different like book to sign and a different story of how they loved what he was putting out there, and he was just that's where you really saw the generosity too. Like he took as much time as was needed for that interaction. He never hurried anybody off. He just, hey, this is great. And he looked at this 12-year-old's sketchbook, you know, and said, yeah, and it was great. It was great. And so, I mean, just to, yeah, he's a super nice guy and genuine and generous. Those are my two big
That's
words for
cool.
him, I'd say.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to meet him several times at Indianapolis because he used to live in Indiana. He used to live here in Indiana, and he so nice signed everything. Have all four of my Kingdom Come issues signed by him,
Yeah, me too.
and he could go from dark in Kingdom Come to writing Archie, which which just blows my mind. Shows you the range of the man.
True. Well,
Um,
and his independent stuff too, like Irredeemable and stuff
oh yeah, Daredevil is an amazing story.
yeah, and it's so dark and it has so much depth to it. But then, yeah, then he writes Birthright, and it's wow.
Oh
So
yeah, oh yeah. He's an amazing guy. So you started the ball rolling with this, Ridge. Just like, was it your thing that you started going, and then AJ came on, or is this always started with you? And tell me how it started.
Yeah, I mean, the idea originally started with me, but within, I don't know, 24 hours, I was calling up AJ and he's saying,
Mhm.
"Hey, I have this idea. Hear me out. I think we could do something really cool with it, but you're a writer. You're an incredible storyteller. If you ever hear AJ tell a story in person,
Mhm.
you're very entertained. Your cheeks hurt from, laughing, but you feel like you're there. And the way that he writes in novel form, you
Mhm.
just you see it like a movie. And what's even better about comic books is it's really complimentary because the action
Mhm.
totally complements the writing, especially with him partnering with Mark Wade, just powerhouse combo. But yeah, it started with me, but quickly shifted to team, and the team has been
Mhm.
carrying this project along for years now.
Cool. Eventually, at the end, I'm going to include all the information where they can get your stuff. But I want to ask, what was your inspiration in the first point, both of you, to what was your leaping point? Did you start playing D&D? Did you start reading Superman as a kid? What was your leaping point to get into this in the first place that got you so passionate?
I started at 11 years old
Hmm.
reading. My first comic ever was a G.I. Joe comic, and it
Oh,
was 1986.
Hamna. Larry is amazing.
And
Right.
and I may be mistaken, but I think it was issue 26 was the first one. And of course, I didn't know anything about keeping comics like nice, so
You
that things
roll it up, stick it in the back
get
pocket.
scratty and got ear dog
Yeah,
ears.
turn the page.
Yeah, and so but that started the ball rolling for me. My mom was very I was always athletic, so I was always doing stuff, but I wasn't reading.
Mhm.
And I didn't like reading, and it sucks. And so my mom's like, "Listen, you got to read something." and I'll take you anything. Just start reading and get your brain working. And so yeah, we went to this little local comic shop in Orlando, Florida, and uh, and then I was like, oh, G.I. Joe is pretty awesome. It's not just like, and that point too, it was, they're throwing arrows through people's eyes and cool stuff. It was awesome. So then I began tracing and, like thinking about that. And so
Mhm.
that became a great medium and a great, way to kind of escape into stuff. And there was a lot of fun things happening in the mid 80s uh,
Oh yeah,
in comics. It was sort of like revolutionized, like the X-Men had some really great Chris Claremont
the
stuff,
Claremont run is
yeah.
awe-inspiring.
So that really got me into storytelling and really actually opened my eyes at a pretty young age to what the medium can do. Because I mean, mutants and stuff is all about racism,
Yes.
and it was very tied to what was going on in the culture at the time and stuff. It was really great, but it was great storytelling. It made you think, it made you do all that stuff. So then I got a little bit later in, of course I read Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns, and
Hmm.
then honest to God too, I started reading The Flash with Mark Waid from Mark Waid when he
Yeah.
really revitalized The Flash and made me a huge Flash fan.
Hmm.
And so then uh I just started kind of, getting into it. And then actually I collected about 6 or 8 thousand comics, and then put it down for a while as I grew up and joined the circus, right? And then was in the acrobatics, and I was moving around a lot, so I couldn't really collect comics as much. So I kept them all at my parents' house, which is every parent's nightmare.
Oh, of course.
Like, and then finally, like I shipped them out with a pallet to where I'm living now, which is Vegas, from Florida to Vegas, and I got boxes of them here.
Now, Ridge, what was your uh, that you guys flipped?
Yeah, definitely different because I wasn't a comic book person. Always an appreciation of comic
Mhm.
books, but started playing video games because I had an older brother. Just started playing those at an early age, and then that evolved into just more console gaming. Then
Mhm.
that led to Pokemon cards coming out, mid '90s, and collecting those, and then eventually got into Magic the Gathering and played that, from roughly 2000 to 2010, and then just became an athlete. And so, you know, uh, playing cards, I didn't really have as much time. So then I leaned more heavily into the video game side of things,
Mhm.
but was always interested in, the Spider-Man series and the X-Men series in the 90s. And like, I was just an action figure kid. I
Yeah,
didn't collect them. I played with them, like they're beat up, they're
that's what you
broke.
do.
Yeah. But was just always adjacent to, all things Marvel and DC and all that.
Mhm.
And then that just led to, us starting a studio, and we just had a passion to tell good stories. We just felt that for a bit, not as a, blanket statement, but we just felt like storytelling was just needing to be, um, I don't know, just better again. And so we wanted to be a part of that process and the evolution. And so we started coming up with this whole world of Alpha Clash, and, why
Mhm.
would people care, and how do we make it appealing, and, all these things. And now we have 4 years in, we've got tons of content with our games and our comics, our novel. There's just so much to story to tell and to show off. And
Mhm.
it really is just an awesome universe that I think anybody that comes across it, if they give it a shot, they're going to be, pretty impressed because AJ's an incredible writer.
Yeah, you sent me a copy in an email of one of the covers, and I'm like, dang, that is like just you know, comics is one of the only mediums where you can actually judge a book by its cover. You see a cover, okay, that looks cool, you know, and that's where you go. And luckily, it's many chapters. You figure it out whether you like it or not. But you could actually just look at that cover, and I was like, wow, I would actually go into my local comic shop. That's cool looking. I'm gonna snatch that up.
Yeah. Yeah. We've got just such incredible artists too.
Mhm.
And it's a really diverse team. They're from all over the world. Their skills are all very different. Our cover artists, we've got several different ones that all just have very unique aesthetics and skills. And then our interiors, the story's just going to really come to life in a unique
All Cirque
way.
people?
What's that?
All former Cirque people?
Oh no.
That
That would be really cool.
would be pretty cool.
Perhaps we'll do a circus project in the future that focuses on
Yeah,
that. But
that would be cool.
yeah, I mean, we just through being in the industry and getting introduced and kind of making self introductions and all that has led to the current compilation of our team.
That's cool. Now, are you guys going to be now Indianapolis, Gen Con every year? Can we see you there this year?
Yeah,
26.
Yep, we already have our booth. We will be there.
Awesome.
We've been at Gen Con the past 2 or 3 years, and it took us a couple of years to get in also.
There's a waiting list.
Yeah, it's a sizable waiting list, and but Gen Con for us is just always stellar. So
Yeah, that's the pinnacle.
Yep.
Yeah, I was there last year, actually, not only as an attendee, but actually as a cosplayer myself, playing a character. So I was trying to get as much into, it's like Disney. You can't do this in one day.
Yeah.
It is when you can actually walk over to Lucas Oil Stadium and the entire football field is covered over and people are playing RPGs, it is humongous. And I cannot wait to see you guys there. I already have my weekend planned for that. I already got a 3-day pass. I'm going to be doing that. And hopefully, I got it all set up and ready to go. And I'm hoping to see you guys there too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just like you said, just the walk from the Indianapolis Convention Center to Lucas Oil, it's a long walk, and there's plenty to do along the way. You could spend hours along the way. So you're right. You can't do it in a day.
You go through the tunnel from the convention center that goes underground to go to Lucas Oil. Not only there's vendors along the hall. There's that many people. You cannot walk a 3-foot radius without going to a different vendor or a different team.
Yep. And if you get hungry along the way, they've got food trucks and stuff there. So you're all set.
we have quite the array of food trucks here in Indiana. As you can tell, I am no stranger to hitting a food truck every once in a while, and it was phenomenal. They had everything there.
Yeah. It's a great show. Anyone that's listening, definitely stop by Rising Empire Studios or Alpha Clash. Sometimes
looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me. Alpha Clash, and I'm going to put all the information down below, and I'm going to talk a little bit after we're done here, and I'm going to tell everybody where they can get your stuff and sign up for newsletters and stuff like that.
Amazing.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
That was so much fun. I want to thank AJ Light and Ridge Keeley for their time. And what I have for you right now is that Rising Empire Studios gave me some stuff so I could give to you guys. So I have not one, but 2 Alpha Clash Ready to Clash gaming system starter kits. I got 2 of these, and it's got 2 sets of cards ready for you to play. I got 2 sets of these. So I got that. I also got Alpha Clash number 1, the After the Clash number 1 Torque Therapy. I got that one. And I also have Cosmic Conquest. Both books, really cool looking. Now I am going to be giving these to 3 different people. So I got 2 gaming systems. I got 2 sets of, 1 set of comics. So do you want these? What you have to do is you have to go to my Instagram page, Bay_Rays_comics on Instagram. Make sure to message me and tell me that you would like one of these, and you'll be automatically entered to win one of these sets. So like I said, go to Bay_Rays_comics on Instagram and you could win one of these. Coming up on February 22nd, Blooming Geeks is going to be having Bay Rays Comics Blooming Geeks in Bloomington, Indiana, February 22nd. at the Holiday Inn on Kinser Pike here in Bloomington. It's going to be from 10 in the morning till 5 p.m. I'm going to have comic book vendors there, toy vendors, 3D printing people, Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon. We're going to have artists and writers there as well. So make sure, and food trucks. Food trucks. So make sure you're here in town February 22nd at the Holiday Inn in Kinser Pike. Blooming Geeks is happening again. I want to thank everybody for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe on my channel. Help my channel grow. There are so many things in this on YouTube that you could be watching right now, but you decided to sit down and listen to my fluffy butt talk about comic books and cards and toys. And I appreciate and love each and every one of you. Now, this is a very, very hard time of the year, and your mental health is very important to you. So if you're having any issues, please reach out. There are so many different places that can help you if you're having any kind of mental health crisis or depression. I know I've suffered from depression in my life as well. And there's so many people out there that love you and want to help you. So I'm going to leave links below to help you if you need it. So now go out and find comic books and toys and card games wherever you can. Garage sales, flea markets, but you know where you can find your comics and toys? At your local comic and toy shops. They are always going to be there to help you and help you find what you need. And also, remember, reading comic books is still reading. Later, y'all.